like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here.
Hello students, once again welcome you back to the elective geography class of class 9, and today we will be doing a new chapter, chapter 6, economic activities or occupation. In the previous video we had finished chapter 5 on resources. So today, to begin with, I would just like to start with a brief introduction and then talk about the factors responsible for different occupations and just go through the different types of occupations. So, what is occupation? So we all know that people have basic needs, that is food, clothing and shelter, and whatever we need and the things that supply our needs, we can only get it by paying money for it. How do we get the money? We have to earn it. So to earn that money, what do? We join an occupation or we perform an activity for which we are paid in return. So, in brief, an activity that is done and helps a person to earn his or her livelihood is called occupation. So, before we go into the main topic, I would just like to go in brief about the resources that are available, as we have studied in the previous chapter about the natural resources. So there are different factors which are responsible for the distribution and utilization of resources, because this is one main factor on which occupation or an economic activity depends. So we all know that the environment in all areas of the world is not uniform. Different areas of the world have different climatic zones, climatic regions. Then we also have what is known as the quality of soil, different types of soil, such as sandy soil, silt, loamy, and then we also have geological structures, different geological structures like faults, folds, and then unconformities. All of these influence the environment of a place and the resources that are available in that place. When we talk about climatic conditions, we have studied in the previous chapters about different climatic zones of the earth, such as temperate climate, Mediterranean climate, tropical climate, and depending on that again, it influences the kind of resources that are available in that place. All of this lead to differences in distribution and properties of the resources. And then again, based on those distribution, the differences in the distribution, properties of resources, the utilization of the resources also play an important part. For that utilization of resources, we are dependent on the economic system of that particular place. And then, based on the economic system and the utilization of resources, it helps to the development, the lifestyle development, and also the economic activities as it is given. So, just to go in a little detail about the different types of surface that are available on the earth. Some parts of the earth's surface may be plain, some may be grasslands or coastal, highlands like mountains. And we know that fertile lands, especially near the river banks, are very suitable for agriculture. The grasslands, on the other hand, are suitable for livestock rearing, that is, to rear cattle. Coastal plains favor agriculture, fishing, and trade-related activities. On the other hand, The mountainous areas favor the growth of forests, production of horticultural crops. So students, as we were talking about the factors responsible for different types of occupations, one of them is the availability of resources. And then again, the resources which are available are dependent on climatic conditions, geographical structure, as well as even the quality of soil that is available in that place. So we can take the example of jhum cultivation. As you all know, here in the northeast, jhum cultivation is practiced, and the products and the fruits or the horticultural products that are available give the people of that place the avenue to earn a living by practicing that cultivation. So we can see that different types of activities are performed by people depending on the environment and also depending on the resources that are available in that place. And so we can see that in the certain areas, people generally follow agriculture as a primary occupation, and some places it's livestock rearing in those areas which have grasslands. And then in some places, like in the forest, the economy is based on the forest products. So we can see that different types of economic activities are performed in those places. In some of the advanced regions, though, people live their lives based on the modern industrial activities. And then, with the passage of time, those places which were dependent on primary activities like jhum cultivation or fishing or an agriculture-based economy in a general sense, can also develop into an industrialized economy. For example, in Assam, we all know that, as I have told you in the previous class, tea was not cultivated on a commercial scale until the British came. So after the arrival of the British, tea cultivation was taken to that level, and we can see as a result of that, Assam is a leading producer of tea in the world and in the country, and then India is a leading producer of tea in the world. So we can see that the economic activities may vary over the place and also with the passage of time. And depending on this variation of the economic activities, there is variation in the types of occupations, which brings us to the third point, the different types of occupations. So these different types of occupations, when we talk about, there are 4 types of occupations. The first is called primary occupation, the second one is secondary occupation, number 3, tertiary occupation, and number 4, quaternary occupation. They all have their own characteristics, but they are not separated from each other. So depending again on the place, the economic system of that region, a workforce may be involved in more than one occupation, can be involved in different occupations. So these 4 broad groups are, again, to repeat, primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary occupations. These are the 4 different groups into which occupation is divided. What is occupation? To repeat again, it is that activity that is performed by people to earn their livelihood. So, in the next class, we will go in detail about these 4 different types of occupation. In the meantime, I would like you to go through the textbook once again on page 94 and 95. Go through this, through all the contents of the textbook. In the next class, we will complete the chapter by going through in detail about these 4 different types of occupation. Thank you.
Stay home, stay safe.
Do it for self.
Do it for your family. Do it for India.
Let's break the chain of COVID-19.
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद। हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।